In the WhiteNight project, our goal was to create an immersive narrative experience. Through simple interactions and text-based choices, we wanted players to experience the pressure, friendships, and emotional struggles of adolescence in a more personal and direct way. During early development, we explored several gameplay approaches. At first, we considered making a purely click-based narrative game, but we felt it might be too passive. Inspired by Disco Elysium, we also experimented with a split-screen design, separating gameplay and narrative interaction. While this idea was interesting, we found it didn't quite fit the visual style we wanted and could feel slightly distracting. After several iterations, we decided to build the game in a 3D classroom environment. This allows players to look around and interact directly with objects, making the experience more intuitive and strengthening immersion. In addition, we also designed several UI elements to support immersion. For example, sticky notes are used to guide players on how to interact. A clock represents the player's daily action points, and once time is used up, the day ends. A wall calendar is also used to indicate the progression of in-game dates. We also designed a hidden tracking system that records players' choices across each in-game day and leads to multiple endings. Our intention was to encourage replayability and allow players to explore different outcomes. From playtesting, we found that players understood the system and connected with the story, while also showing us that the replay experience could be further improved. In terms of team roles, Yang Shu was responsible for part of the gameplay design and all visual art. We initially planned to use a retro pixel art style to create a nostalgic early 2000s atmosphere. However, during development, we found that this approach affected visual clarity, especially for character assets. As a result, we shifted toward expressing the time period through dialogue, small props, and environmental details instead. Sean Wang worked on part of the gameplay design and handled all programming. This project was also an exploration of narrative themes around students' emotional pressure in a school setting. One challenge we encountered was that the technical workload grew larger than expected. Even with AI-assisted coding, integrating dialogue systems and refining logic required continuous iteration. At the same time, this process helped us gain a clearer understanding of development workflows. For playtesting, I created an online survey and shared the game through itch.io. Overall, players were able to understand the gameplay without difficulty and found the experience immersive. Many also responded positively to the emotional tone of the story. Some feedback suggested that replay motivation could be further strengthened, which gives us direction for future improvement. If we had more time, we would focus on refining pacing and making each playthrough more distinct so that players feel more motivated to explore different choices and endings. We would also continue improving visual details and interactive elements to further enhance immersion. Regarding AI usage, we used AI strictly as a supporting tool within a limited scope. Most importantly, all narrative content, including the story, dialogue, and thematic design, was entirely created by our team. Without AI assistance in terms of visual assets, the game includes a mechanic where players look down at a textbook and complete small exercises, and only some illustrations within these in-game textbook pages were created with AI assistance. All other visual elements, including 2D assets, 3D models, and environment design, were fully created by our team. In addition, AI was used to support programming under human supervision, mainly for code suggestions and improving efficiency.